0.9 CHSR here in Fredericton, and I can hear myself.
It's directional mic, so you got to talk.
I'm gonna have to talk at you. I need to talk in focus.
You got to talk into the microphone for
This is
anything to hear
unfortunate
you.
for
That's
all of you people. I've been walking around though. I kind of like toddled around the.
He really does. He really does.
I did. I just kind of wandered around and watched the people and realized that I would never have survived here.
No, I thought the same thing. I was like, man, I would never, ever survive university. So kudos to all of you out there who did.
The parking is very nice too.
The parking is very
Parking
nice.
was very stellar. This place looks really nice. They've done a wonderful job with the renovations. I'm very honored that they did that just for me.
I did like the.
Thank you UNB, and thank you 97.9 CHSR for renovating the building just for me.
CHSR had nothing to do with the renovation.
Shut your poor mouth.
Justin Dory, we see you in the chat. Dude, what is happening?
I see nothing. I have no power here.
He has no power whatsoever, and I'm not going to give it to him. But tonight's show, we're going to talk about one thing. Mainly, we're going to talk about paintball fields and what makes a good paintball field.
Being nice to people.
Justin Dory says he's still sore from the EPPL, no doubt. And so, sorry, I'm just quickly taking care of some business, and then
he's playing Clash of Clans. He's lying.
I am. I really am. Is that a game? Is that still a game?
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
I'm pretty sure. I'll have to double check with the Wizard of Magic Land, but I'm pretty sure Clash of Clans is still a thing.
Nice.
Damn these directional mics.
Yeah, you got to talk right into them.
This is unfortunate, but I'm gonna figure.
You don't have a headset on, is that like you're usually
normally I have my snowball and I yell at it. It's great.
Yeah, that's true. Usually, that's very true.
It's my favorite. I just yell at the microphone and it works. Here, I need to actually focus on something, and it's a little weird.
Explore Paintball at their 2 Guys 1 Studio. Yeah, that's. Why'd you have to make it weird?
Join our Patreon for that bonus content.
That's our OnlyFans. Join our OnlyFans for that. 2 guys.
So good on this microphone, man. I think it's time to upgrade from the old blue microphone.
$400 microphone for you to make disgusting sounds into.
On the radio.
Oh my God. Yeah. On the radio. So I'm so sorry for everyone out there listening.
We appreciate having you on what is probably the only kind of paintball radio show.
No, I'm still quite positive that
I've got a funny feeling there's one more. There's got to be somebody stateside that has got a radio show dedicated to paintball, and if there isn't, that is an open market. That and the sale, the mass sale and distribution of poutine.
The what?
The poutine.
What about the poutine?
I'm positive if we opened a food truck someplace south of the border, we would be rich beyond all the dreams of avarice.
I mean, we could definitely try. I would be very worried about my anger management when all I'm hearing is, y'all sell that poutine? I would lose it.
Your ass is in the back cooking the French fries, my dude.
I would lose it.
I would be perfectly happy in the South. TJ said that we are allowed to go there. We are invited. I am I was this close to trying to go to World Cup. Like my folks are driving to Florida. They have a free ride.
Oof.
And I'm sitting there going, I can't justify taking a week off of work, dude.
That's right.
I want to go to work.
I would love to go down to World Cup.
Not this.
No.
Just not. If you went to World Cup, I would absolutely destroy you just purely because of the things you haven't gone to this year. I'm going to have to shit on your grave.
No, unfortunately, this is not the year for me to pull that stunt. We will see about maybe next year.
So is this like our yearly, like we should do it next year and we never get around
every
to
year like clockwork? We should go to World Cup next year.
Yeah, but the first time we did that, we ended up at D-Day, and then we ended up at Wasaga, and we've ended up at PRZ, and we ended up at NME. Like we've gone to some pretty cool places.
Well, that's just it. We're like, we should go to World Cup,
and then we end up down the road, and I haven't been there yet.
It's the worst.
Brian, you don't listen to the show, but I'm sorry. I really do need to get out there. I just want to go out and I want to and just play it. It's just a shame. It's a shame on my part, not on anybody else's. It's a black mark on my soul. I'm also looking for a reason to go to PEI. I have a tender. Give me a reason to go to PEI.
Terrible.
No, please don't. I don't need that much of a reason. Thank you. And though a nice cheap hard side trailer would get me over there,
Mm.
and then that would afford us to take up Big Boss Webba and have a spot for the Maritimers, kind of like designated an enemy next year.
That would be, but the only thing is I'm just worried about space because that trailer we had was nice, and I mean, you don't wear pants when you sleep,
It's true.
so
I don't. It's made. The trailer is going to be made to sleep 4 people comfortably. So that's 2 beds.
Okay.
In the interest of decency, we'll get a drop cloth, and I can get naked on my side of the trailer. We can work something.
Okay,
out
we'll
here.
make it work. We'll make
There's
it
a
work.
bunk system.
We'll army it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like an animal. I'm just
We'll-
going to just be having my shame flapping to the wind.
Yeah, well,
Um,
like it flaps.
like it does. Homie, that camera does not go far, but this moves, and I don't need these, and I can't see
Don't
the
do it.
comments.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't tempt me.
Put the masks between you. Put the mask.
Well, I was saying to you the other day,
Terrible.
I've been using my eFlex again.
Yeah, you were saying you were rocking the eFlex instead of the EVS.
It's because I needed a clear lens to
Right.
play night ball. Fun fact: the clear lenses were ancient, and they thermal did nothing. The goggles
Did
did
you get
nothing.
the
Nothing.
Did you get the like your car defrosting effect where like you just have this like your vision slowly narrows as like
Yeah.
the fog creeps in, and then you don't even realize it. But you're doing
That's-
this, you're looking up, trying to look down your mask the entire game.
That's the curse of Nightball. It doesn't matter what you do. It's always the way it works out. But man, we had fun. It was
That's awesome.
really, really good time. And then Josh set up this. He like took the field and just turned it 45 degrees. So the starting points were on the corners.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it was a little shorter, and then you had like a big W in the center, and then a big snake all the way around. It was kind of like a mini version of Enemies that they did that big night ball.
Yeah,
It was super, super, super cool.
that's cool.
And
That's
we
dope.
kind of just ran it for shits and giggles on Sunday. We had a few of us. It was a pretty quiet day, so we all kind of got out there and tried it out. That was a lot of fun.
I love that. That's awesome.
Got to try out this fancy ass laser tag.
What do you mean fancy? He's got fancy laser tag and
No, a dude brought it out to try it out.
Okay.
And the guns had recoil.
What?
Yeah, they had recoil.
Okay, they must have like an actuator or something.
It appeared to have some Polish or some sorts of European writing upon the side that I did not understand, but was very happy because then there's a little LED screen that had your health. That's right, your health. It wasn't one shot, you're dead. You had a health. You had like a sensor
Okay.
on top of your head and your hat,
Okay.
and the gun had your health. It had how much ammo. There's a reload button on the side. You could be a medic. There was different game settings. You could play capture the flag, and it was like laser tag. It was laser tag, and you would shoot, bloop, 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 and the gun would give you a little clack, clack, clack recoil.
I don't hate that.
It was super, super cool.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Oh
That's
no,
cool.
no shade. Like this was the coolest laser tag I have ever seen. Buddy had a whole kit. It was laser tag, but the guns were fairly responsive. You make sure you've got a real solid Wi-Fi connection. You can pop and play anywhere. It's a very, very cool idea. Great intro.
Do you need access to the internet, or you just need Wi-Fi?
It seemed like he needed Wi-Fi's.
Yeah, no. What I mean is like, does it need to connect to a home server, or can you just create like a local network that doesn't go anywhere just by plugging in a router?
We lost connection a couple times, and you had to kind of hit to a certain spot. But I think it was relative to him, if I recall correctly.
Okay, so it must be a local thing, like a local signal coming off of him. Okay, that's cool. That's
But
cool.
yeah, it was super, super, super,
That's
super,
dope.
super cool.
I dig that.
So we wanted to talk about things that make a cool field.
Cameron said he played something like that back in the bunker in DeBert years ago. There's a guy in Truro who does it now.
Cool. It's you know what?
That's cool.
It's a very neat way. I like it.
Mhm.
It's it was funny because there was a couple little kids there, and these two little dudes were awesome. They played on the air ball with us. Then the little guy wanted to go out and play in the field, so we got out into the town, and he had a lot of fun. Then Buddy shows up with the laser tag, And after 2 games of laser tag, he's like, "Can we start playing some paintball in the town again?" This kid is awesome.
I'm bored.
This laser tag thing is pretty cool. This laser tag thing is like really cool. No, I really liked it when he sounded like this. It was awesome. The little kid was just like, "No, I want to go play paintball." Yes. I could just see Josh's eyes light up behind his mask because there's no mask because his eyes light up just under his beard.
Why Brittany in the chat, why y'all wear sunglasses like you the shit? Buddy.
The lights are very bright. And
It's so you can't tell where I'm looking.
most of the time, or how like that color am I at? Like that color.
He's got an actual issue with his eyes. For me, it's I'm looking at 5 different screens and I don't need you to see my eyes dart around
Normally
everywhere.
I'm playing like lately I've been playing Tetris, or I've been playing golf, which has been very relaxing.
Cliff wants to know when is the next walk through the town?
The next walk through the town. Oh, you want me to walk through your town again? I do. Next year, I'm definitely coming back. They were not happy with me. Cliff, you terrify me. He really does, dude. I'm sorry. I had to come and cuddle up so I can read the messages.
Oh, here.
There
you go.
I get my own. Yay. Hey, bitches. Yeah. Cliff was so much fun doing that walk, as I didn't ever really realize that it was a dead man's walk. It never really occurred to me that that's what I'm doing.
What?
When I just stroll balls out across a field and they just shoot the hell out of me. Like when I walk across to get the flags in final battles, like at Wasaga and
Yeah, but the difference is a dead man's walk is a deliberate cheat, not even a cheat. You shoot somebody doing a dead man's walk, they need to call themselves out. The difference is that the game you were playing specifically had a rule of
that I could do that. Yes. Okay, I agree. The way it was described, I'm like, oh Jesus, is that what I'm doing?
No.
Because then I feel almost
No,
like
I'd
a piece
argue
of
that.
human garbage.
No, if the organizer says as long as you're moving forward, the hits don't count, then it's not a dead man's walk. You're straight up playing within the rules. A dead man's walk is when you just abruptly
intentionally drop
you
your
stand
gun
up
and do that shit.
and you're carrying your gun down by your side and you just stroll. And then people are like, oh, he must be out. And then you just go pop, you snap and you get him, right? So that's a dead man walk.
That's a dick move.
That's a dead man walk. That's those are not.
Oh, look, it's lead.
They're not entirely against the rules. Most of some, because the thing is that you're not calling yourself out. Your hand's not up. You're not saying I'm out. You're literally just standing up and walking away.
Thank you, Cliff. You make
Cliff, that
call,
was not a dead man's
Thank
walk.
you. It just makes me feel better that he makes that call because I can't say that.
Yeah.
I really did pay for my insolence after that, man. I was nice and black and blue. It was beautiful.
Yeah, they from what I understand, from what I heard, you came in like a wrecking ball and you kind of ruffled some feathers. Came in like a hurricane.
I have not been informed of this, and if that is the case,
what I mean is that I think Ontario has its own little. It's not little, but it has its own ecosystem.
Hey, Charlie.
You disrupted the ecosystem.
Yes, that's fine. I make a splash, and then the ripples go away, and then I go back next year. I let it kind of settle for a year.
It's like when like the Bay of Fundy. You go to the Bay of Fundy. No. But the Bay of Fundy, when you go there, and it's like, oh look, there's there's salmon, right? Salmon run into the Bay of Fundy, right? They go into the sea.
Yeah.
And then there's like the occasional whales and whatnot, and then every once in a while, there's like, oh shit, there's a great white shark here, and everybody loses their shit over it. And then it goes back to normal. And I think that's kind of what it was. There was there's a very sensitive, delicate ecosystem in Ontario, and you just showed up, and you did not belong in that ecosystem.
I did not.
And then you left.
I definitely did not quite belong at Wasaga. It's also not because I didn't belong there. It is definitely a family event. I can't stress that enough. And they were very, very cool. The ones that I did kind of ruffle, they were very cool to not, get kind of pissy with me. And I did very, very best to take myself away from that. It was not only the one person who never made it clear, never had to. Miss Donna said not a bloody word, but I will tell you that her Beach Boys, I had no less than 3 of them and their parents that are my age. I'm just like, shit, man. I love that these kids are warning me like it's like their peers, and then I look at their parents, and their parents are my peers. I'm like, shit, I got like 2 generations where I'm being a
Oof.
shit disturber.
Oof, big oof.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It makes me happy because that means I'm not that bad, because at least I'm a harmless whack job instead of like someone who's gonna hurt.
Well, that's just you're the funkle.
I'm coming up to that point in a guy's age, like where it's not creepy. Like when my dad was in his 50s, it wasn't creepy. In his early 60s, it wasn't creepy. 62, 63 heart attack, it became creepy. 65, it is now creepy when you are flirting with a 21-year-old waitress, Dad. I'm sorry. Some dudes are charming as hell at 65. There is a point, though, in every man's life where they hit this level where it goes from being charming, cute old man to, oh, that's kind of creepy. To...
You know what? I was reading an article that said that adults basically have like the equivalent of a growth spurt where we age heavily in our 40s and in our 60s. And I think what it is that you age rapidly in your 40s, and that's when you develop that like old guy charisma. You got like that, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like you got like that's what.
Yes, because you don't give a shit.
That's when the silver fox age starts to show up, right? And then you get to ride that out for about 20 years, and then you get to your 60s, and then suddenly you're an old man.
Yeah, there's usually again like something hitting the pond and disrupting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a random Nintendo Switch in the back. I was playing Death Road to Canada, and I've been playing Tetris. I'm gonna find a way. I keep saying it, but I am gonna find a way to stream the shit that I'm doing to the Discord when I'm at
There
home.
must be a way to stream a Switch to a Discord.
There is, or I can just switch to PC and stop being an animal.
I mean, you could.
I have keyboard and mouse and shit. Anyways, that's a whole other ball of wax.
So no, Bond is like, so 60 is old.
No,
60 is not old. 60 is too old to flirt with someone the age of your daughter.
65, you should not be pinching waitresses' asses. You shouldn't be pinching a waitress's ass in 2024 anyways. I got to point that out. But there was a time in the world where you still could do that. And there's a time in that world where you were too old to do that shit, and it got a little creepy. So I am just like ascending that point. I just don't abuse this power because it is a wonderful thing. You can't abuse it because then you're a creepy old man, and that does anybody.
Yeah. So welcome to the Maritime Philosophy Podcast. Where so folks, we're about 20 minutes in. So let's for anybody joining us on the radio, thank you so much. Hello out there on 97.9 CHSR FM. You are listening to the Maritime Paintball Podcast. And let's get into tonight's topic. And folks, feel free to call in. You can always call us 506-453-4979. Tonight's topic is what makes a paintball field good. And I mean, we're going to get into the nitty gritty too, because I've got some opinions.
No,
I know I'm an opinion.
No, Bradley has opinions. Holy shit!
I know.
I'm shocked.
I know.
Anybody who is listening on 97.9 CHSR, if you're hanging around UNB, come on and visit us. We have a viewing window. They can come right in the front door, and they can come visit us, and I get a viewing window. And I'd like to say hi to everybody because
Bonchik, do we get a shameless plug on those sunglasses? You know what? I am actually going to plug these sunglasses. Check this out. These are, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, folks. These are Explore NB, which is like an organization that like promotes like actually going out and exploring the trails, the parks, and whatnot of New Brunswick. And they're actually really, really nice sunglasses.
These are my Sean White, my Hallbrook Sean White. I bought them because Kimi Räikkönen wears them, and they're pretty. And I can change the lenses when I scratch the shit, because I keep scratching my my aviators all the hell. So these ones here I can wear day to day and bang around.
Nice. Yeah, just pop cheap lenses into them.
Exactly.
Right? It's the frame that matters. Oh my God.
Who's calling?
I don't know.
Who is it? What do you want? It's that Chris guy, I bet.
It's probably it probably is, honestly. It's probably that weird ass Chris guy.
That Chris guy.
Hello, you're on the air. What's your name?
How are we tonight?
Oh, there we go. Sorry, you cut out there for a second.
Who that?
Good evening, fellows. How are we tonight?
Good, good. Who's this?
It's Greg. How you guys doing?
It's Greg.
Give you guys a call.
He's old.
Yeah, how you doing? I've got a few things.
Yeah, hit us. What do you got?
What has my buddy got to say?
one. How do you guys feel about next year going into? For me, I'm a MegFed player. I choose MegFed before Speedball.
Mhm.
And going into next season, I'm very concerned because as far as I know in Ontario, I think there's only one MegFed game up that is going to be running. The rest is the 3-on-3 tournaments. I think the raid. And you can see this year they canceled one already. Not enough players to attend. And my concern is what is the state going into next year with MegFed? And it's bad for me because I don't mind playing speedball. I play a lot of open class, so which kind of is okay. But when you're with a MegFed and you're playing open class, it gets overwhelming because there's only so much you can do.
You're right.
And
Shame. We're not even
then-
running the CMC
and
this
then-
year. Like, sadly, there's just not a lot of MagFed love lately, it seems. You're right. It's sad.
And playing at certain fields, I love playing at Wasaga.
Mhm.
We missed you, Brad. Hopefully we see you next year.
Oh yeah.
The cardboard cutout did justice for you. Trust me.
Oh, man.
I've seen
flat-
that. I'm scared to show up now. I feel like the cutout is going to be more popular than I was. Now they're going to be like, oh shit, the 3D one's here.
Yeah, Flat Brad was very sassy.
That's what I
lad.
heard. That's what I heard.
He definitely got the attention. He got his eyes trained on Miss Donna. So he was.
But to
Yeah.
bring a point about MagFed, I fear that in Ontario, especially, the loss of PRZ hit hard. The MagFed players now see here in the East Coast, we don't get MagFed only games. Any MagFed player always plays with open class, so we always have somewhere to play and somewhere to go. I found in Ontario, you guys were, I mean this in the best way, but you're kind of a little spoiled. There's enough MagFed players in Ontario, you guys could kind of like self-support each other.
Yeah, but look, but the raid, like they
No,
are
but
getting
I-
canceled, like
yeah.
games are getting canceled,
think-
so they're losing guys too.
I think MagFed goes through these booms and busts. So I think MagFed swelled up because everyone got into it and everyone loved it. It was super fun. It was super tactical. Got to play Call of Duty, yada, 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 right? And then it felt like Speedball took over a lot of those players because a lot of them either went to Airsoft or they went over to Rec Ball. Like they switched over to a Speedball marker simply for the ease of use. Because, I mean, like MagFed, a lot of people talk about MagFed being cheaper, but I mean, like you bust a mag, that's $30. I bust a pod, that's $3. Right?
Yeah, for a mag for me it's $50.
Right.
So,
That's one mag.
right?
And there's no shade.
No,
playing
it's
your
just
MagFed,
economics.
Andrew, like I loves my MagFed. I looked at my TMC and I said this the other day, like great shame I did not crack my TMC out at all this year. I didn't play MagFed at all this year. There was just no,
Wow.
and it's because there's just not enough people to get a good MagFed game going because you're always at that disadvantage. Blah, 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 blah. But we just don't get that MagFed only game, and I think we definitely next year that's going to have to go on the bucket list. We're going to have to go and find a MagFed game, and I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to go play the raid. Like I want to go play a raid.
That's
I want to play
assuming
one.
that's assuming the raid happens.
Well, then my boy, we need to get our asses out to a raid. I want one MagFed only game next year. If I don't get my CMC,
Well, I know.
I'm sure we could.
we're going
I'm
to
sure
go
we could
find one.
something.
We're going to get NFT, and we're going to get a bunch of those animals that love MagFed. We're going to find ourselves a MagFed, and if we can't find ourselves a MagFed, we'll get one with blackjack and hookers, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
The
Well, I heard Honey Badger is going to return next year.
I've heard rumors
Right.
as well.
So, yeah, I heard it's a rumor.
It's a rumor. I'm curious as to where it's going to show back up. Because Honey Badger was great. Adam and Sean put on a great game. I would
Yeah.
say it was, I'm going to say 30% of Honey Badger was PRZ, though. That field mixed with that style of game is what made Honey Badger so damn good.
Yeah.
I feel like Honey Badger at Wasaga is just not going to have the same feel Honey Badger at Commando. It's not going to have that same feel. You know what I mean?
Well, no, it's a MagFed only game in a building.
There was the whole, we're not going to get into it, but there was the whole thing about the Burwash field, the old prison. That, I know a lot of people are optimistic. I'm not putting any money on that. I don't think that'll come through.
What's the compound?
The compound is an old airsoft field. It's not old. It's an airsoft field that is slowly opening itself up to paintball.
Andy is saying he hears it may be coming back to the compound.
That would make sense. Okay.
The compound would be the great place.
Yeah. Because it's it's in the woods, but they've built it to be as urban as possible. So
Bouchon Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Do we know him?
A lot of ditches, a lot of
I like that faith in that. Give me hope.
What do you call it? They dug down and made trenches. And, what I had seen. A lot of people went and played not too long ago in the summer there, and they raved a lot about it, which is cool. But it's the same thing as, can we get out there? When are the games? You know, like. So I know, like, coming up, we're gonna do Wasaga. I think it's the 26th for Zombie Night, and then the next day will be Player Appreciation Day, which is amazing over there. Everything is free except for your paint. You got to buy your paint, food, you name it. Everything is free for the day. They really take care of you over there. So, but it's majority of like walk-ons players. So there will be guys playing MagFed, just like on the Sunday for the big game at we had quite a good turnout for MagFed on Sunday until the rain finally washed us away from Wasaga.
Yeah.
It held up all weekend. You know, it split here and there, but held up.
We got lucky. We got really lucky.
Yeah.
So and then we have. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say with MagFed, it sounds like you guys just are missing somebody somewhere to just kind of take the lead with it and just go, we're doing MagFed and we're going to do it at this field. I think the airsofters got that right. They've got like airsoft organizations where they'll come along and it'll just be like, we're having an event at this field at this day.
They schedule their events
like months in advance.
A year in advance. You get them in January.
Yeah.
These are the major events. They play every other weekend. They play in these sets of fields. For us, it's local. And they do a rotation of fields. That's what they do.
I think MagFed players might also need to get into the habit of learning and understanding economics in the sense that, let's say you want to run a MagFed only game. That field's not going to make any money.
Yeah, so it's going to come
Pay a
down
fee.
to the MagFed community. And the MagFed community needs to do. No, I'm sorry, but it's look at it like airsoft guys, and that's basically your like wiener cousins that don't want to get dirty and don't want to get hurt, but they're the kind of the same. Y'all need to group up in your local areas and do exactly that, and bounce from field to field, organize your events with your fields, because then they're not going to lose a day. And they're not going to. You guys may have to do that, and that sucks. But if you make people put even $1 down, you make someone pre-reg and put $1 down, I will bet you will have a higher amount of people return than you would if you asked for no or the full thing.
Yeah.
They'll balk at the full thing, and you get flighty commitments if you don't pre-reg. But if you make them pay $1 bleeding, they'll show up. So that's what you do.
I'm greedy. Make it 10. Add a 0.
Whatever. Arbitrary number.
But you know what? That's make it so that the field makes some bank outside of the paint, right? So, and then
gonna try to make.
Oh, and Andy is just saying that trying to organize the MagFed community in Manitoba is like herding cats. Andy, it can't be that hard. There's 4 of you.
Tyler, I see you, baby. And yeah, I want me some beer league speedsball. We're gonna get a team of like 4 of us, and we're just gonna make like trips down to Ontario, and we're just gonna go down. We're gonna barbecue like once a month and get shit house with the boys and come back.
Explore paintball there. It's just for $1 a day. You could support a poor MagFed player. All I'm thinking now is just like in the arms of for the less than a cost of a Tim Hortons coffee every day.
Joke.
You can right? No, but you got to make it for less than a Tim Hortons coffee. Like you got, right? Like
Yeah.
you really got to push that home.
It's
Well,
not.
on that final note, I figured. So on the 6th, we're all heading up to Ultimate Paintball because it'll probably be their last big game of the year.
Yeah.
And the field will be shut down. I think this is their last year because we went last year for the last big game, and then they actually got another year, which was pretty cool. Hopefully they get another year, but I doubt it. So we're all going to head up to Ultimate Paintball one more time and have one more go at it over there. And, other than that, I am looking into buying an airsoft gun and start dabbling in a little bit of airsoft when I can't play
It happens. There's
my
nothing
first
wrong with
passion.
that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with it. And I've been doing
Commando's
a lot
got a great community. A lot of good folks there playing airsoft.
I've been noticing, like, you got to have a team or you got to be on a team because it's usually like 6 or 11. There's a game coming up, 24 hours. And you need to be on a team. You can't just, I don't think you could just play as a single player and just register and come. You got, there's some kind of thing about it. I was reading about it, and which is understandable, right?
No.
So,
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And like he said, and like Tyler's saying, there's no money in it. They only shoot a bag of paint between 40s, right?
But and that's it. The fields don't make money on MegFed players.
All right, Rhino. I love you, buddy.
nah.
So thanks for calling in, man. Thanks for calling in.
Fella. Yeah, man. You guys have a great night,
Cheers,
and we'll
sweetie.
see you next week.
Cheers. Now. So like you said, MegFed struggling. I think MegFed players need to come to realize that fields are businesses. Fields need to make money. MegFed players don't make money, and they need to start paying a field fee.
I think that's just the negative way of looking at it. They just need to gang up. They need to do it, and I hate to say they need to do the airsoft thing.
But even then, you get
Do it.
30 MegFed players together. What's that?
That's
5 cases?
a Sunday. That's 30 guys renting a field for a Sunday afternoon.
No, yeah, but that's what I mean. They got to pay a field fee.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
But they have to do what the airsoft guys do. They pay they all pay a fee,
Yeah.
and they rent the field for the weekend.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they got to do. It sucks, but that's what you got to do right now. Speedball guys already do it when they book fields for practices and shit. And they got to pay for paint. They get a deal, but it doesn't matter. They're still paying for the field.
The field still makes money on paint,
Correct.
and the average speedballer will shoot 2 to 3 cases. The average MegFed player will shoot 3 cases a year,
We'll shoot 2 to 3 bags a month.
right? Like it's not.
And I again, no
So-
shade, man.
No.
I'm a MagFed player.
Yeah.
I was a MagFed player.
I you know what? I would really love to get this is a show that we should do. We need to find some people who are still playing MegFed, and some people who've moved away from MegFed to airsoft, and some people who've moved away from MegFed to speedball. Get them all in a room. I want to talk about why. Why are you still playing MegFed? Why did you go to airsoft, and why did you go to speedball? Because MegFed players are always talking, we're a dying breed. We're running out of players. They seem to be worried about it. I'd like to understand why.
There's not enough of them. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
That's why I went to open class. I've got myself a pump. I've got mechanicals. I've had fancy mechanicals, cheap mechanicals. I'm trying everything but again, I just want to throw paint.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
Greg says do it. I said okay.
AXB will be hosting a MagFed event in 2025.
Interesting. The GOM shoot beer league paint, 9 cases last event, 18 games, finished 3rd out of 12. So I mean,
That's sweet though.
right?
9 cases of paint. 2 cases of paint. Yeah. What do you guys play? 4-man? 2.5 cases of paint per?
I think they play 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah, we got to mention a lot of the GOM get shot out on the break. Love you, Tyler.
No, it's T, man. It's T and his chicken, and I've even made him, but I just call him Brown T because there's Tyler and then there's T. You get them confused.
5. They play 5-man. Anyway, last I checked, I was part of the Grumpy Old Men because I get shot out on the break too. So deal with it. So we're like I said, we were talking about what makes it feel. I'm gonna laugh.
What makes it feel good? Clean toilets. Somebody said earlier. Nice people. Who is it? Who dat?
Hey,
You're on the air. Who are you?
it's Justin.
It's Justin.
Hey, buddy.
Big Daddy Dory.
Big Daddy Dory. I like that.
Yeah. Big Daddy D.
going on, fellas?
Nah, man. So what do you got to say? What are you saying?
Not much. I'm just going to talk about the field because our local field did something cool for us this week,
Let's
and
hear it.
I really think building a field is about a community.
Mm-hmm.
And we literally called our field owner on Thursday night and said, "Hey, would you set the airball field up for us Friday to practice?" And they did for 12 guys of us. And we played a Friday evening game. We played from 5 till dark, right? And that sort of stuff. I think it's about getting the players out there. And let's be honest, you got to make your money off of rentals.
Shit, you get
You
12
gotta-
guys out on a Friday night. That's a good night of paintball.
Yeah, for speedball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit for any paintball on Friday night with that little notice. You got people. Sorry, didn't mean to pop your ear there.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's my
Um,
ears itchy.
You could get 12 dudes out, and on top of that, your field that's dope of him.
Mhm.
I mean, let's point out that it's good business, but it's just really nice of him to be like, you know what? But there,
Yeah,
why not? You have
we
to
all
love it.
agreed to at least buy a case to do it, right?
That's
There
fair.
you
We,
go.
We do something similar with the CMC, where anybody who
Nick.
plays in the CMC at the Canadian Magfit competition that I host, that I haven't done this year, but we'll try and bring it back next year. But you have to buy a bag of paint. Every player has to buy a bag of paint.
Oh, that's right. Well, last time we ran the CMC, we all
Yeah,
actually both
Because we had guys who were like, well, I'm running FSRs. I don't care. You're buying a bag of paint
one bag.
because the field makes
Makes
money
sense.
off that bag of paint.
Yeah, he's not making money off your reg.
And I've been playing the game long enough since, well, I think I first really started playing consistently in '97. I had a long break. But the number one thing is the field, like, and the fighting between the fields and stuff is just not great. Support everyone that you can and support the fields that are going to support you guys, right?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
You know what? I've always chalked it up to. I was thinking of this the other day, and it was like, okay, this kind of makes sense. If a McDonald's and a Burger King can exist on the same road, then why can't multiple paintball fields exist in the same province?
I agree.
Right? People are going to go where they want to go, and they're going to go. One person will go to both.
Ego.
It's definitely ego. It's all ego.
I grew up in
that
the
is
Zap
anywhere.
versus Diablo days where it was like, oh, you're a Zap sponsored team, you can't go to that event, right? And it killed the sport.
Oh yeah.
So okay, so this isn't this again. Obviously not. I sound like a naive shit, but okay, this isn't this is a recurring theme. in
Oh yeah,
paintball.
waves, man, waves. But yeah,
okay,
there was like
shit.
I totally forgot, but there were events back in the day where it was like
Nah, man.
they were run by the companies, and it was like, oh, you
I-
play for my competitor, get out.
Nah, I
Yeah.
refuse to subscribe to that, man.
And
I
that's
wanna-
why Diablo's not around anymore.
I want to play everywhere. I don't. Life's too short to be an asshole, and it's too short to limit yourself to where you can play paintball.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. And whatever teams I played for, we always went anywhere, and we used to hear it from other fields like, oh, you went there and you went here. It doesn't matter. We went.
Whatever.
I still remember 2001. We went to Atlantic Championships, which were hosted in at Spikes in Charlotte, or just outside in York, Prince Edward Island, I guess it was. And they had 21 3-man teams for their rookie that year. I remember it was one of the first years they had the air ball.
Right now,
And-
that would be every paintballer in Atlantic Canada.
Holy shit!
I know.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it was crazy. And it's the sport's different. There's lots of reasons that it's better or worse. I mean, I'm an old school guy, so I hate ramping. And it used to be a skill to shoot your gun so fast, but shooter boards made it so that we all basically had to do it. So,
Yep.
I'm glad that they did something, but it's a different sport. But to get back to your question, the only other thing I was going to mention about fields, and a field that really gets something that really will drive me away from playing at a field quickly, is if they don't take safety seriously. The last thing I want is to go to a field where people are taking their goggles off or not putting the barrel plugs in, and the staff doesn't treat it well.
Yes.
And
thank you.
consistently, you have to treat it good, because if you don't, and if something ever happened, it's going to ruin it for all of us.
Shut that
And,
shit down.
A big thing to it, because I've seen it at some fields where they just don't care, and they don't address it, and somebody takes off their mask or whatever, and like the players tend to be the ones who be like, yo, put your mask back on.
Yeah, exactly.
On the other side of that, there's some fields that go too hard on it, where like a rental
Yep.
takes his mask off. Yes, it's a dumb move. but like that ref will just like tackle him and scream at
No,
him
no,
and
no, no,
belittle
no,
him.
no,
And it's
no,
like,
no,
cool,
no.
that player is now so embarrassed, they're never coming back.
Yeah, no.
Exactly, I
Let's
agree.
pass that. As a matter of fact, my barrel plug, the one I ran at Wasaga, the one I got from Chen.
Yep.
I got to stop running it. It's not safe to run it.
Oh, that's it goes down the barrel, right?
It's not safe.
Eh.
Your mini blew. No, your mini, the orange one blew the damn thing right out.
Oh, you put the orange one in the mini.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
And the mini blew it right out. So
Yeah.
I actually, so I as much as I like that barrel plug, and I think I'm gonna have to go back to the bag system just out of pure, or just use my swab like I like to do. I like to
Um,
me swab.
Tyler wants to know.
I don't like the swabs.
The swab thing. I get I get in the tournaments.
I absolutely agree. Shooting fireworks to start a fire.
Is they okay? I'm totally fine with it.
We were not playing paintball at that time.
No, we were not.
You
And
narc.
it's the putting the swab down the barrel. I mean, from like, especially when I look at it, see like speedball, like it's a proper speedball tournament.
Mhm.
Odds are the guys have already cut the gas to the gun as well.
They should have.
They should have.
If
And
you knew how
Can't
many
guarantee
times
that.
in the pit everything was completely on.
Nobody.
Oh, no,
Absolutely.
for sure.
The teammates
but
made
it's when it comes to that,
You're right.
I like to think that those players, they should know better. So we don't need to watch them as tightly. But when it comes to like a day of rec ball or an open day of
No.
play, barrel bag all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I've got a really nice Nova one. I think I'm just gonna
Yeah,
start
rock
with
that, man.
proper barrel bag.
I always dig the rubber ones, man. The HKs, the Bunker King ones. I have a Bunker King
Yeah.
ones that just says "We kill suckers."
Yeah,
I love that one. I love that one, man.
That's
So,
all my old
I love
school
it.
stuff.
Yeah,
I just got one. When I came back, I bought one that just says "Game Over" and like the Mario font. I love
Right,
it. So,
right, absolutely.
I like that, Dory.
But,
I'm big on it's, again, shooting fireworks is one thing, but like playing ball, same thing with airsoft. I shake my head at the guys with the glasses, with shooter glasses.
Oh,
yeah.
Like you're asking to lose your eye, dude. I've seen dudes come back with like lodged under their eyes and shit. I'm like, you're gonna lose your eyeball, man.
And it ain't worth it.
No, wear your mask. And yeah, you never yell. You don't berate somebody. You pull them aside like nicely. You got to yell at them on the field. I won't tackle them, but I'll definitely holler at somebody and get that dirty look. It's like, listen, I like my eyeballs in my. You're gonna like your eyeballs in your head, like.
Yeah, that's where they belong.
99% of those situations can be basically mitigated by a good, clear safety conversation. Talking about, look, I'm going to look out for you, but you got to look out for yourself. If you do something stupid on the field, I am going to do my best to protect you. And I promise you I will do that as your rep. But that might mean that I'm going to cover you if you don't have your mask off and that sort of stuff. And if you give people the warning heads up, they're going to understand why you're doing that, right? And maybe some people go a little too aggressive, but if you talk to them,
oh no, definitely.
Can we find a picture
Yeah.
of somebody with their eyeball popped from a paintball gun and just like post it?
No.
I mean,
I've seen stuff like that.
No, seriously, post that shit. Post it somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody find one and post it. And I don't say that to be, but scare the shit out of someone. I mean, the theories worked with cigarette packs, but nobody wanted the teeth. But
Oof. What was I going to say there?
but thank you, Dory. I appreciate it,
Yeah,
buddy.
no, exactly.
But yeah,
All
man.
right, you guys have a great night.
Thanks for calling.
Cheers now.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, safety obviously a huge thing. I've been to some fields that safety was definitely not at the front of the mind, which is not great. I've been at some fields where safety was taken almost to the point where
Like you were saying, aggressive.
it was aggressive. It was very like got into the kid's face screaming at him. And it was like, one more time and I'm kicking you off this field and you're done. It's like, okay, I get it, but like, just
that
tell
guy-
the guy. But
By
like, the
any
kids
chance, was he in
knew
New Brunswick? Because like the kinesiology building is just down the road. Was he a phys ed teacher?
he might have been or
Yeah,
wanted to
okay.
be one. I don't know. It sounds like it, right?
Sorry, kinesiologist.
So it's this. I've yelled at a guy mid-game to put his mask on, then I shot him. Yelled aggressive that time.
I approve.
Yes.
I also approve of field justice.
Mhm.
So I'm maybe not the best person to ask that, but play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Absolutely.
But for saying good things on a field, I'm going to always stress that some sort of pooping facility.
A clean bathroom.
I mean, Moncton,
Just got indoor plumbing on their bathroom.
our sponsor, our one of our wonderful sponsors, they actually have clean bathrooms. Not only do they have bogs, there's 2 clean bogs in that place. And let's think about the paintball fields we've gone to. There's not a whole lot of them that had clean bathrooms.
Oh God, no.
There was some funk in some of them.
Oof.
Again, no shade on Commando and their porta johns, but you also knew if you're going for a day of paintball, you really didn't want to rock a shit at the field. Nobody wants to do that.
But Mirabel has proper bathrooms that come in on that trailer.
And your bathrooms were not that bad. Plus, we had the trailer. We were prepared for such things.
Yeah. Okay, Dan, that's a little different, but we knew your field's in the middle of the woods.
Also,
We lost GPS connectivity trying to get to your field.
they had the shower though.
They have an outdoor shower.
So does Atlantica. They don't have an
Atlantica has an
shower,
indoor bathroom
but
and an indoor shower,
yeah, you can have a shower there.
Yep.
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 Which is awesome.
right? So having that. Some other things too, like fields, and I understand this requires investment and it requires money, and not all fields have the kind of money or the investment to do this. But if you have the ability to do this, and it doesn't need to be anything exciting, but like extracurricular activities, for example, I believe it's Mirabel, or which one is it that has a fully licensed bar? Mirabel?
It's in Quebec.
Yeah. So not so that I can drink during the day, but it's so that I can have a beer at the end of the day. Right? That's fun to me. Obviously, that costs some money. It requires somebody to sit at the bar, all that jazz. There's all the legality to it. I understand.
Are you suggesting we bootleg at paintball parties? Because I saw a really nice bar trailer.
Is it actually bootlegging, though? Or is it just...
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely
Oh, okay. Well, then, no, we can't do
We're
it.
selling booze without a license.
Yeah, for anybody listening, obviously, we would never do that.
Absolutely not.
So
She keeps checking the phone like she's gonna come down the hall and kick our ass. Get out.
But just not even just that, but that's like the extreme one. That's like the really far end luxury side of it. But even just like, I don't know, having something a little bit more than just a picnic table, or I don't know, but like just add something new, add something special.
My favorite is still this year at Moncton, besides their amazingly clean bathrooms and their nice little pro shop that they built.
I like that little shop.
That is a nice shop.
For the size Moncton is,
and if
that's
you go
perfect.
in there, by the way, you assholes, those cabinets are for viewing product, not for teching your shit. You do that out in the field. You do that out on the picnic tables, like an animal, like you should be. That's just pointing that out.
Absolutely.
But they also have the mister. For those super hot days when we were playing speedball and they connected the box fan and they put the hose through it,
right?
and they cranked it, and it was so nice to stand
Right?
there and just be like, I want to die.
Have that. What would be really nice too is on the cold days, because there's been some days where we've gone to Moncton where it's cold and miserable.
Mhm.
It'd be really nice to have those like patio propane heaters.
That's doable.
Right, they're portable. They're
I
designed to
think
run.
I've got one in my garage. That's doable.
Right. Dan
has put out one, field pods.
I love the idea of field pods.
I was saying that to Gasman that next year I'm just gonna buy half a dozen pods and I'm gonna throw them in the pile because there's a big bag of them.
Dude, if you can buy them online for pennies.
Right, like I'm gonna buy half a dozen pods or a dozen pods, or I'll just we'll buy a bag of cheap ones. I'm gonna use the grumpy old man's idea and drill the table and fill the pods. Oh, you're googling it right now, aren't you? He's in incognito mode because he's not supposed to be googling.
No,
pictures.
it's because
But
it's so
field
nobody can
pods-
accidentally get my
But the field pods was a really good idea. I loved it at Moncton. Just I'm gonna throw in, like I did that last year. I threw 6 or 8 pods in there. I don't have any pods left. I donated them all to the field years ago.
I mean, I wouldn't do that, but
I don't care. They were shitty pods. Like, they were old pods. Like, you supply the economy. When I need 2 or 3 to fill up my pooch. My pooch.
80 cents. We buy them for 80 cents a piece.
USD, by the way, guys.
Whatever, 80 cents US. So $1 something.
To $1.50
Buy 100 of them.
American, you're looking at $2 a pod.
Okay.
$2.25
So-
a pod plus shipping.
A lot of the time, these guys will throw shipping in,
You know what? It hurt to get. I got to get a pod bag.
right? So little pods, big pods.
I mean, I've been
It's an
playing
option.
so much open class, and since we're gonna fix the E-Tech and get that baby running, because everyone tells me I need to get a plan in Eclipse. Well, I've got one. I'm gonna use it. So
Dan, I'll send you the link afterwards, but it's an Alibaba link, so you're buying directly from the manufacturer overseas.
Dan's like,
I actually found one for 59 cents just now. You got to buy a minimum of 100. So you buy 100 at 59 cents. You're laughing.
I mean, worst case, you end up with the ones like the Grumpy's got, and those weren't that bad.
I've
green
bought
ones.
stuff from Alibaba that is 100% the same supplier as like Titman.
You know, I really should go on Alibaba. Look for some. We're
Like,
not sponsored by Alibaba or any of those guys, but I'm kind of tempted to go look because there's some cool model kits, and there's some cool like Lego shit and like
Yeah.
action figure bash kits. Simon's not quite at that age.
it's all
but
factory seconds, but who cares?
I give a shit,
Right?
Let them punch up
Exactly.
them ears.
Yeah, exactly. So-
yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
But
But
yeah,
100 pods, like really? My God, we need to buy just hundreds of pods and just have just like a throwing party. Just bust into a room and just pelt people with pods, empty ones. I think it would be funny. I don't know why. It sounds kind of cruel.
what, throwing pods into a crowd?
Yeah.
We did that once. It did not go well.
I'm so happy.
They were full of stuff, and Reaper David Justin was throwing them into the crowd, and that man was not tossing gently. He was like lobbing them up into the crowd, like hitting kids in the head. It was
The shipping
hilarious.
from China will be faster too, man.
He smoked some kid with a T-shirt. He's not allowed to throw things from the stage. Don't let David Justin throw anything from the stage.
Reaper's not allowed
Um,
to throw things from the stage. That's hilarious.
So, but yeah, so there's stuff like that you can do. What I thought was really nice was when fields offer, like, they're obviously cheap. Who cares? But like microfiber, if my microfiber gets, like, my microfiber cloth, if it gets dirty or something, like, I like to have a nice clean microfiber to clean my lens. It's nice when the field has something that isn't paper towel. Paper towel will scratch the shit out of your lens.
Oh, why not?
So,
It's a good idea. And Justin, buy 1,000 pods for all Atlantic Canada so he doesn't have to lug pods to events, especially if you're flying.
just
To hell with that shit. It's not you get
strategically stash them. Have your own personal stash of pods on every field in Atlantic Canada.
Yeah, again, NME, you buy supplies, and part of their membership is stop chewing on your hands.
Can't.
They don't have to bring pods.
No, right?
That
You don't
kicks
have to
ass.
pack pods.
That kicks ass. I
Um,
love that. Yeah, we could just be like pirates everywhere we go. We buy like half a dozen pods each, and then we just bury them someplace on the field. I mean, it would suck at Commando because it would get buried in like 2 weeks.
I swear to God, it was here, and now there's 4 feet of dirt on top of it.
Lucky.
Could be like that guy who did the whole thing where, like, the music festival was coming, so 2 weeks out he buried a bottle of booze.
Oh yeah.
Right. So what if we just filled the pods with paint? Just go ding them up mid game. What else can a field do? I
Microfibers.
the microfibers, and just honestly, just creating a proper community through a membership program, but actually doing stuff with the membership program, not just having it to collect funds and make it a money generator, but to actually build the community, do things. You know what I really want to do this November? I don't know how we're going to do it, but we are going to figure it out.
Oh, what are we going to do this November?
I want to have a watch party for World Cup.
That's shockingly doable.
Right. I want to throw that shit on a projector somewhere or do a bar takeover.
Well, I know a guy with a fair sized projector and a nice screen
right? Set up at the field. We set up at Moncton.
I am not dealing with that Wi-Fi shit.
That's a good point.
I love.
We set up somewhere
Moncton,
else,
but we need to set it up someplace where we can at least get some damned Wi-Fi.
right? But yeah, doing like a watch party or
I want to do it at a bar. I want a place where I can smoke.
okay.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to sound petulant, but
No.
I'm
But you're
being-
right. No, we got. No, this is what we're doing. We're gonna.
screw you. I'm
we're-
being petulant.
Like,
I don't want to
we're doing,
smoke.
it's like, I'm sorry. I just rewatched a bunch of Doctor Who, so I'm just like, okay, narrow it down. That is a throwback. If anyone knows that one, that is a throwback. So yeah, so like do like a watch party, host practice days where you don't need to use paint. Like you can practice without needing paint. You can practice your dives without paint. You can practice, you know what I mean? Just do something to get the crew out there and as a social event. You know, that kind of thing. That's what I'm saying. So I'm reading the comments.
Take over the world. I'm down.
Yeah, why not? 4,500 fills. If you can swing it, players truly appreciate being able to get a 4,500 fill. And like, if you're running a paintball field, again, this is no shade. This is just something that I've noticed.
Damn it, Ian. Why would you do that? He has brand new eFlex events clear lenses on sale if you need one. Yes, I do. Thank you, Ian. I need at least one. I'm going to end up rebuilding myself a couple of eFlexes. Simon has my other one, so
Nice. If you're running a proper for-profit paintball field, or in Dan's case, a not for-profit, invest the money into that compressor. Get 4,500 fills. Your players will truly, truly appreciate it. They really, really will. Dan's saying we're hosting a Halloween party for our club. Got to wear a costume to step on this. What is it? Oh, got to wear a costume to step on the Soldiers of Fortune paintball Hamilton field. That's awesome. I love that. So why not, right? Like the membership thing, like grow that community, build that social aspect to it. That's really a big thing that I would love to see happen more. Take advantage of, if you've got members, take advantage of that member program and build something.
think of all the money the field could make off 3K and burst discs if they have 4,500 fills. Fuck Cameron. And on that bombshell.
Yeah. So, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I didn't realize what time we're at. So, it's been an absolute blast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and chit-chatting, liking, commenting, and sharing and all that jazz.
If we're
Truly,
back next
truly
week, it's
appreciate it.
because she didn't pay attention to half the shit.
Yes, exactly. If we're back next week, it's because the CRTC did not shut us down. So for anybody listening out there live on the radio on 97.9 CHSR FM, thank you so much. And come find us on social media, Maritime Paintball Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch and YouTube. And that's it, folks. We're out of here. It's been an absolute blast. So thank you so much. Until next week. Cheers.
Each